about frisbeeing and fishing along the Elizabeth Islands? That is a gorgeous
They are
fish.
all beauties.
When the pogies show up in Boston Harbor, it's really some of the most incredible fishing of the season. You get huge schools of them. They're big baits. They attract big stripers, big bluefish, and there's so much structure in Boston Harbor. Got all the Boston Harbor Islands, all of the inner harbor, the wharf, the Charles River and the Mystic River all pouring in together. So there are all these bottlenecks in all these places where there's current and the fish can really corner the pogies and feed on them. We told Captain Tim Egenrieder of Anglerfish Charters, if it happens this year, you got to call us. Right about the second, third week of August, he said, the pogies are here, the bass are on them, you guys got to come down. We raced down to Quincy and hopped aboard his boat, and pretty quickly we got on some pogies.
All right, I see a school up inside there. See where that bird's flying? All right, so what I'm gonna do is cast out to the edge of the school. You can see how they run from left to right. We're drifting exactly that way. So I'm gonna reel it nice and slow, try to keep the line out of the school. Wait till I feel a tap, tap, tap from the line running through them. There's one.
It's a sharp sweep when you start to feel them.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be anything crazy where you hurl a lure 50 yards into one of your friends, but just enough to set the hook. When you feel them in the tail, bass almost always eat head first. If you're lucky enough to have one come eat immediately after you snag one, you often don't hook up when you get them in the tail. That was perfect. One of the easiest ways to get them off, put your 2 fingers around the hook like that, spin.
If there's anyone fishing out near Boston Harbor, I recommend getting down in front of Shipyard Marina. There's a pogie ball, biggest I've ever seen.
The schools of pogies that are in the inner harbor are like inner harbor, like Battery Wharf, off Fish Pier, like Boston in the backdrop. If you look at the screen here, you can tell they're under us. Okay, right up to the left here. Let's cast a little bit beyond it, sink a second or 3, and just like that. If you cast right towards legal, you'll be casting right towards them. Perfect.
You can just see the darkness underneath there where the school
That's exactly it. Coming towards you a little bit, you might want to reel just a hair faster, and that's only because we're drifting towards them. There you go.
There we go. And then immediately.
Okay, give that an extra whack. Make sure you have it nice and sunk in there.
There we go.
Okay, now let some line out and hold on. Fish on.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I expect us to see something. Oh, it's bigger than I thought it was. Yep, just got bigger. All right. Not a bad
That's
fish.
a beautiful fish.
Not a bad way to start a day.
That's beautiful.
Right in downtown Boston, honestly, we're gonna see something bigger than this today.
You do a nice job. Support the fish horizontal, keep them supported like that, and should be an easy release.
Absolutely, this fish will swim right off. Give her a little revival. pat on the head, and there she goes.
Very nice.
Let's get another one. Okay guys, we got an active school right up ahead. Junking works, taking a dead bait, throwing it back behind the boat with a weight on it, just free lining a dead bait, free lining live baits, all of it works.
Oh, he's right up on the surface, see him?
One of ours is on the surface getting toyed with, I do believe.
Yeah. There we go.
Way to go, man.
Really playing with it for a while.
Doubled up, boys.
So just like that, we've been chasing pogie schools for a little bit this morning, trying to find the ones that have fish on them. Found a lot of bait, but we're just now finding that some stripers are on this school as well.
There we go.
Nice. See, we're using a Cabo 50 spinning reel, so not terribly heavy gear. A lot of fun for catching striped bass like this guy. Look at him. Tim, just like you said, we bounce around these pogie schools enough. Eventually we find one that's got some big bass on it. Got the city of Boston skyline right in the background, so definitely a cool place to fish. Definitely a lot of life here in Boston Harbor.
That's a fun double.
All right, let's get these guys back in the water.
There she goes.
Boston Harbor really has a lot more fishing access than people realize. There's the harbor walk that goes around most of downtown and really wraps around all the way from Deer Island and Winthrop and comes all the way down to the Quincy area. Lots of places you can fish from shore. Castle Island, Deer Island, both have fishing piers, both are very popular. A lot of people don't realize that Boston Harbor has the Boston Harbor Islands Park, which is a national park. It's pretty incredible. You've got all these islands that you can boat to, you can take a ferry to, you've got island access. It's great fishing access. It's also great areas to fish from a boat.
Definitely gonna put out a live bait. Can't see any reason for you to not cast your plug in towards the rock wall there.
Used to stand on that rock wall and cast out this way. Look at that pogie run. See the fish right behind
Fish
him?
on him.
Oh, he grabbed it. There he grabbed it. No, let it go.
Oh! But I think I just got bit off by a blue.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can get him to hit the soft plastic now. There he is. There he...
Attaboy. Nice.
Boy, you definitely got him excited with the live pogie.
The bait and switch.
And then he was willing to hit the soft plastic as it came by his head. He's got a fish right behind him too. All right, I think I can grab him. You can see like that soft plastic made him think it was a pogie or something. Nice single hook, easy to get the hook out. There we go. Another good, healthy fish.
Beautiful fish.
That's a fun size. Fun size catch and release, really good fight. And they seem to run in packs or schools out here, so we should be able to do a bunch of these. Huh?
Sure seems to be a pack here.
Back in. There he goes, starts to kick. And he's gone.
Fun, healthy release. Good job.
Good times. So this is a Z-Man soft plastic. It's a extra tough, stretchy soft plastic. So even though that fish hit and it came off the rig, I could pull that back through, get it back on that hook pretty quickly, get it re-rigged, and it's ready to go again. no major tears, and it's gonna stay on that swim bait hook just fine. Gotta get eaten.
For a little while.
There he goes. See it right on the top? Yeah, 5 or 6 stripers just circling
Cast
him.
right to that, man. Pick off one on the edge.
All right.
He's coming for it. Coming for it.
Oh,
yes! I love it.
look at him. They're still after yours. Look at him trying to get away. That was really cool watching that fish turn away from the live pogie.
This is fun.
Nose right up behind the soft plastic and then just took the whole thing. See the fish behind him? That's another bass.
Just waiting for him to puke up something.
It's a little better fish there. Beautiful. He's a little bigger, a little heavier. There we go.
Nice fish.
Nice.
Get a quick measurement on that. Put him
Sure.
39.40.
Look at that, you're dead on.
39 and a half.
There she goes. Nothing more fun than that.
I'm having fun.
So if you think back in the history of Boston Harbor, back in the 1600s, before Europeans came, it was this massive wetland with rivers flowing in. You gotta imagine it was an amazing natural area. I'm sure you had huge schools of menhaden, stripers, and all of that. It's been changed so much by people. The backfilling has built these wharfs. Basically the entire downtown Boston and Back Bay is all built on landfill. So it's completely changed the harbor, and it's definitely seen some rough times. There was a lot of pollution. It wasn't really until the 1970s that they started to finally clean up the harbor. And now you see, even though it has been so modified and it is a heavily populated area, heavily used, the water's pretty clean again. Menhaden are back. You see these huge schools of pogies and it's drawing in lots of stripers, lots of bluefish. People are always asking, can I eat the fish in Boston Harbor? And yes, you can. The water's fairly clean and it's a great place to go fishing. It's really actually quite surprising for most people. That legacy of pollution lives on in some people's minds and they don't realize you now have an incredible waterfront, an incredible resource with truly world-class fishing. For striped bass, for bluefish, for winter flounder. It really is one of the best urban fisheries in the United States, I have no doubt. Well, we moved into the inner harbor. We're right off the downtown Boston skyline and we're on some huge bunches of pogies here, and we're just trying to find the ones right now that have stripers with them. So just casting out, snagging the pogie, and usually if the stripers are there, they're on it pretty quick. Just had a striper followed right up to the boat. Just what you bait around, they might be a little picky today, a little tough, but should be able to get some good fish. That's amazing how much construction there's been.
New buildings go up every week, it seems.
I think a fish just grabbed mine.
Attaboy.
There we go.
Oh, that looks like the right thing.
I just snagged one.
Nice.
There we go.
Oh, screen's covered with fish.
Ah, it just popped off.
Oh no!
Try again. So what's interesting about fishing Boston Harbor, right in the inner harbor, is you have so many different types of boat traffic. There's the ferry service running people back and forth. You've got all of the commercial boats. You've got duck boats. You've got water taxis. You've got canoes and kayaks, and pretty much anyone can get out right down in Boston Harbor. There's all this great access to the waterfront. So it makes things a little challenging when you're in there and trying to fish, and you've got fast ferries running over your school of pogies. So what's your approach on these pogie schools when you can spot them like this and see them clearly? Do you want to try and drift through them down an edge?
When I look at it, if I see a particular corner of it spraying, or if I see a big green hole open up in the middle, what I want to do is try to pick off or drop a bait in that will either drift through or ride the edge of where I just saw activity from the predator. In a situation like this where I'm not necessarily seeing that, although there is a little green pocket over here on the right. What I'd like to do is pick off one beyond that, and as we drift through it, anything that's over there is going to see it.
This is what we're doing. We're snagging pogies. And this one you can see snagged right in the back, still in good shape. So before I even take them off that hook, I'm gonna grab them, transfer them right over to the circle hook. One nostril and out the other. There you go. Take the snagging hook out. And now I can live line them right on that circle hook for an easy release. You don't even need to cast them, that just stresses them out more, so just open the bail and let him swim, and he should head right back to his school if he makes it there before a fish finds him.
Nope, still on it, still on it. There he is. Oh, the 40s struggle a little more, don't they?
So is this normal for you to fish this close to downtown?
No. That's not to say right at the mouth of this, right as the inner harbor becomes the outer harbor, is one of my favorite places to fish. Charles and Mystic Rivers are loaded with bait. It's not uncommon for big fish to come in here too, so it's much more enjoyable on a Tuesday than Saturday though.
That's a nice fish, it's beautiful. That's about the size of striper you get usually on these pogie schools?
A very small fish on pogies would be 32, 33 inches, and the sky's the limit for how big they can get. That might be the heaviest one so far today. Fat little.
A very round body. You can tell they're feeding well in these pogie schools.
That's a 30-pound, 42-inch fish, I think. Here we go.
Nice work. Beautiful bass in the shadow of the Boston skyline. It's pretty crazy.
It's really fun fishing.
I think other people are there eating their lunches right now, their brown bag lunches, going back to work in a few hours.
Don't get to fish much closer to Boston than this.
So our first day of fishing was pretty spectacular. We got some really nice bass, but we said to Tim, if anything happens, if they stick around, let us know. We'll come back, we'll do some more fishing. And for pretty much the next 2 or 3 weeks, Tim was booked and he kept saying, we're still catching big fish. When the pogies are here, the bass are here, it's amazing. Then we got word from Tim that something had changed. The pogies were still around, but some big bluefish had moved in. And he said, you gotta come down, it's National Geographic. There's bluefish going through the pogie schools, coming out of the water. So we came back down again to get back out on the boat, and sure enough, we get out here, and where before we saw these schools of pogies that were tight, happy, feeding pogies, some stripers around the outside, now it was just carnage, just chaos. These bluefish just tearing through and sending pogies into the air, huge splashes, and a different type of fishing, still really exciting.
It wouldn't surprise me if you catch a blue. It would shock me if you catch a bass.
All right, I got the magic swimmer now. Here they come. Oh, he's on it already. Look at him, look at him. Oh! Oh! So they will hit the blues will hit a plug, like you said. Boy, right just behind all those pogies, there's just a wolf pack, probably about a dozen. Oh.
Doubled up. Wow, these are ferocious.
Wow, look at them.
There had to have been 10 behind them.
They're all piled up on the other side of that orange boom there. Look at him trying to grab it out of his mouth. Oh man, this is fun. Oh, those are big angry blues.
Careful, I'm happy to grab the net for you.
Just managed to have the easiest unhooking ever. I can't say I'm upset about that. Got Tim's big blue here. This guy ate a live pogie. Big, healthy, strong bluefish. He's mean. He wants to bite you. All right, and get him back in. Happy to see that guy get away easy. Look at all the pogies up inside here.
something big just came and swatted at it. Oh, like that.
That does not stop being fun.
It just doesn't.
That's the right tackle to use for fish like this.
Really
It's pretty light spinning gear.
Yeah, I like to use the 50s for this, but there's no real difference in the drag. It's just capacity of line. So the 40s are equally as good. 30-pound test braid, right bend in the rod. 80-pound fluoro only because of the blues. 80-pound tends to be able to resist their teeth. And with 80, I can do this.
So you really have no chance when you snag a pogie here. You're not getting it more than 5 feet away from the school before those blues are on it.
I snagged a pogie, and I think it got hit by 5 different blues and hooked into that one.
Yeah, they like to eat their way up it. The first one takes the tail, the next one takes the next part, and then finally one gets to the hook.
That one's right around 11.
So double-digit bluefish right in downtown Boston.
You can't get much more downtown than
National
this.
Geographic type feeds happening as they just destroy the pogie schools. We've had a couple weeks now of just bass on these pogies, and now the big blues have moved in. There could still be some big bass underneath.
There
but
probably is big bass underneath, but it's tough to get to.
Exactly.
Let's release this guy. Off he goes to ravage more bait.